All right, thank you for joining our Replicon Cloud Clock webinar. We're very excited to talk to you about our Cloud Clock solution. Today, I'm just going to go over a brief review for those of you who may not be familiar, the importance of investing in the right time clock solution. So what are the qualities to look for when picking a time clock? What are the problems businesses encounter when making the transition? And how Replicon has solved these problems to become one of the more advanced time tracking solutions in the market and how you can benefit from that. And once we're done with that, Ashni will go over the Cloud Clock demo and show you some of the things that we talk about, and then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So those of you who are considering getting a time clock solution, or better yet, are already part of Replicon Cloud Clock, there are several benefits to having this automated solution. So, the main ones involve saving significantly on overhead by automating most of the capture process and calculation. And of course, you can eliminate buddy punching by ensuring that the person clocking in is doing so for their shift only. And finally, you reduce the errors in time tracking by automating the manual entries and calculation. So these are some of the things you want to look for when considering a Cloud Clock solution, and these are some of the items that we try to provide in our solution as well. So if there are so many benefits, why do companies usually hesitate to bite the bullet? And one of the main reasons is hardware is very expensive. So usually a time clock company will have their own custom hardware that they have to come in and install, after which upgrades are really expensive as well, and so is maintenance. And once you're done with the time clock, there isn't really anything else you can do with it. You can't sell it anywhere. You can't use it for anything else, so it becomes an unnecessary headache. The second reason is that businesses are oftentimes complex. So it's not just a matter of simply clocking in and clocking out. You have various employee types. You have maybe different rates for a sales clerk versus a supervisor, different rates based on the type of shift or location, and the time clock can either not handle that or handle that to a limited capacity, making it so that you still have a lot of admin overhead after the clock and clock out process. These are things we wanted to address in our time clock solution, and we wanted to maximize on the benefits. The first problem we addressed was the hardware problem. So right now, you can install the Cloud Clock app onto any iOS tablet to transform it into a cloud-enabled kiosk and device. So you're not dealing with a custom hardware. You can do more on the iPad rather than just using it for time clock. And when you're done with it, it can always be resold. It can be used for something else. So there's a lot more utility to what we're doing. This also means that you no longer have to worry about the huge upgrade cost that happens proactively and automatically. You can now sync your data in real time to check in on projects and activities. And because we detect and fix potential problems before even the customers are affected, you benefit from the round-the-clock monitoring and maintenance without the additional cost. So we've dealt with all the hardware and upgrade costs. The other one we wanted to address was the configuration. So each business is unique. They have individual needs. They have a certain very diverse workforce and a certain structure that works for them. So we wanted a solution that worked around their needs rather than another way around. So whether it's an hourly worker clocking in or a worker who wants to enter in time against a project or task, we can handle it. Whether it's different codes or rules per location or employee type, we can handle it. So regardless of complexity, our solution has you covered. We now handle a bulk of the paper pushing. So one of the big benefits to having a time clock is the reduction in admin overhead. But in order to do that, it must be easy to use, and it must handle the wide variety of tracking and calculation options that you may have at your company. And we do all of that at the back end. So we've had customers who've saved up to 20 hours of administrative overhead per week and have helped their employees focus on tasks that are more relevant to their business. Moreover, now you can be confident that you're error-free and therefore labor compliant, and that's a huge bonus as well. Another issue we really wanted to eliminate was buddy punching. So even if you're just punching in with a QR code or user ID, those things are very easy to duplicate. But what we've done is we've gone one step beyond that, and now we take your picture as well. So if there's ever any question as to, is someone clocking in for themselves or someone else, it's very easy to identify that and mitigate any misunderstandings by looking at the logs. What we're going to do is take it one step even further in the future by introducing face identification. So with face identification, now you don't even have to worry about a user ID or QR code. So if employees forget it, then that's not a problem. It's not going to hold up the line. It's not going to be inefficient. Moreover, now we have a platform to do more time intelligent things. So because it detects your face automatically, it's more accurate. So it eliminates buddy punching even further. And it could, in the future, do things like clock you in automatically based on the time that you're clocking in, and provide you with the relevant options based on who you are. So it really sets the stage for going into the future of the time clock industry. And finally, what we really wanted to do was create a unified platform. So we're not just a punch-in, punch-out system, but a system that was advanced enough to allocate time to activities, breaks, projects, clients, a system where employees could, where it was a self-service system where you could view schedules, request time off, view punch history. All of this is very important to your adoption. And you need user adoption to get the most out of your time clock solution. If you don't have employees using it, or if there's confusion among supervisors, then no matter how good the product is, you're not going to be able to get the most out of it. But we're very proud of our nearly 100% adoption rate, and the way we do that is by ensuring that it's a very easy to use, intuitive, non-intrusive, unified platform. So that being said, I'll hand it off to Ashni, who will now show you some of the things that we've been talking about here.
Tanisha, so I'll probably start sharing my screen and show you how things. All right. So thanks for that introduction, Tanisha. That is perfect. And now we're going to talk about how you can go ahead and configure the clock and how you can manage the cloud clock settings as an administrator or as an end user. So that is all that we're going to talk about today. Now, just we have the option of going ahead and configuring few things as an administrator within the Replicon system. So that is one thing that we will start with, and then once we are done with the administrator part, we will then go ahead and see how in the cloud clock you can actually function and have the things managed up. So as an administrator in the system, the first and the foremost thing that you can set up with regards to your cloud clock is basically the punch entry policies. Now, these are policies that define how you will be clocking in into the system, how your users will clock out, or what are the options that will be available to them while they clock in and clock out of the system. So click on the punch entry policy. This also defines if you want to limit the users to only go ahead and have the cloud clock access, or you want to give them a choice to either go ahead and do it from the cloud clock, or you can go ahead and have them do it from the all devices where they can log in from. So if I click on add new punch entry policy, you do have different options that you can configure, including this one where you can decide whether the punches that are supposed to be coming in, whether they come in from the clock or only, or from all the devices that the user is actually using in the system. Apart from that, the punch entry policy also helps you decide if you want to go ahead and capture for each punch the projects and tasks. So while you are punching in and punching out, so that's one of the options that you can always look at, or you want the employees to go ahead and punch into activities. So different things that you can do while you are punching in through the cloud clock is something that you can decide from the punch entry policy that's updated up here. Go to administration. As an administrator, you do also have the options to go ahead and assign these punch entry policy to specific users. So you can have a list of users who are basically using the punch entry policy only at the cloud clock level, and then you can have some of the users, say people belonging to your higher management or somebody who doesn't just need to be confined to the clock. They can use either the clock or the web as per their convenience. So you can have those set of people having a different set of punch entry policy defined for themselves in their user profile. So either of these things is possible from this section here, from assigning it to the users here. The next thing that you have or that you can do as an administrator with regards to the cloud clock is basically going ahead and generating the QR card. So before I go ahead and show you how QR cards are generated, just to give you a short background of how the things are. Login methods that you use or the function methods that you use or that we provide from our side include the QR card, or they also include the employee login options. So that's the two things that are available to you once you go ahead and have your cloud clocks configured. So to have those cloud clocks or to have those login methods or the QR card available, you can generate the QR card for the users by checking the box against their names up here and clicking on this QR card drop down, where you can choose whether you want to generate a new QR card for a user, whether you want to download the QR card that you've generated for the user, or you want to remove the QR card because the user is no more available in the system or anything. So that is something that you can go ahead and do up here. Okay, just the other thing that you can do as an administrator is manage the clocks that you've configured. So that's one of the options that are available, that's available within the Manage Cloud Clock section that you see up here. So I click Manage Cloud Clock. All the clocks that you have configured within the system, they will all be available here. They'll be listed out here. You will see the details of which clocks have been online, which have been offline. If you click within this, you will also see more details on what time was it online or when was it offline, and all of those details will be available to you in this section as well. All right, so now let's get into the cloud clock installation and how you're going to work with the cloud clock. So let me bring up my, so I have my iPad screen shared up here, and I'll talk about how you install the clock and how you go ahead and configure it. So as administrators, you will go ahead or on your iPads, go over to your App Store and then search for Replicon Cloud Clock. This is the app that you will find, install or download the app into your iPads. So just wait for this to get installed, and then we will go ahead and configure the clock on the whole. Okay, so we are almost set with the clock installation, and now let's move towards the configuration once it's done. Okay, so now installed, I will have my cloud clock icon on my home screen, and once I click on the cloud clock icon, you will be able to see the screen, where it will first ask you that cloud clock would like to send you notifications. You can click OK, and then you would come over to the screen where you will have to provision the clock that you are configuring. So to start with, you have to provide your company name. I'm going to provide my company here, and your credentials. That is your admin credentials. You have to be an administrator to go ahead and configure or provision the clock. Once your admin credentials, you click on the login button up here, and you'll be taken to a page where you will come over to the next step of configuration, which is naming the clock and deciding what are the login methods that will be used. So you can name that per your requirement, and you can choose what are the login or the punch-in methods that the user can use in order to log in as themselves and punch into or punch out of work. So you can have these checked. I will have both of these checked, and if you have both of these options checked, you can also decide the primary method of identification. So by default, which is the method that your users should be using, is something that you can decide within the primary method of identification as well. Like Anisha mentioned, we are coming up with the face ID recognition, so that will also be one of the login methods that will be available as part of the things here. So you will be able to check that option here as well. Once that's done, you click on the Launch Cloud Clock, and you will get this message that the clock would like to use your location and your clock is set up here directly. Right, now your clocks will be placed in your on your office entrances or wherever that you would like people to come in and punch into work. So you can place those things up here. And let me bring my things up. Okay, so you will have QR cards listed out, and you can show the QR cards in front of the clock. You will be punched into the clock up here as the user that has the clock, and you will be able to select the client, the project, and the task that you've been assigned to. On our Cloud Clocks, we give you the option of, so all the project clients and tasks that you have been assigned to, the first 30 options will be available up here, and you can choose from them. If this is not what you're looking for, you can click here and search for the client or the project or the task that you want to function into. You choose that option, and you can click on the clock in button. So now you're into work, and you will be back to the main screen. The next user comes in, they can go ahead and show their QR card and punch in and punch out once again. Or you can use this option called User ID, which you see at the bottom, and you can go ahead and punch in using that as well. So I'm going to click on the User ID option here. I'm going to enter my User ID available and click on the Submit button. So this logs me in again back into my screen that I was on, and it will show me what was my last punch-in or the last clock-in that I did, and it will give me the rest of the options. So let me go back and punch in again. Okay, like my screen's a little frozen. Just excuse me for a moment. Pardon me, let's wait for a moment, please. Okay, okay, I'm going to put in my user ID here, and there, and click on the button. I'm on the screen back again. It will show me what was my last punch-in, and then the next options that I can do. If I want to transfer my punch to another project, client, and task selection, I can do that. Let me go back. It auto clocks out after a few seconds, so I'm going to take you back. So if I want to transfer, I click on the client, project, and task selections that I have in here. I then choose the next project and task and client selection that I'm going to be punching into. Choose that option and click on the transfer button. So now I'll be automatically logged out of the previous punch-in, and I'll be logged into the current one. If you want to go for a break, so let's show my QR card back again. I'm going to show my QR card here. I'm going to take a break. I have the option of choosing the break, and I can click on take a break. So I'll be punched into break. I'll be punched out of the previous punch and back into the break here. Also, if you want to see all the punches that have been made till now by you, you can click on those 3 horizontal lines that you see on the top right-hand corner. You will be able to see your timesheet. You can click on timesheet, and this is where you will be able to see all the punches that you have made for today. So all of them will be listed out on the right-hand side. You will see the clocked in option, the clocked out, the break when it started. All those punches that you've made till now will all be listed out here as a summary, and for each day the summary will be available, so you can click on each of these days and see what is the summary or what are the punches that you had made for that day. Also, you will see the current timesheet. You can navigate to the previous timesheet by clicking on the arrows that are available and see your punches based on that. Or you can go ahead, you can also go ahead and see what is the status of your timesheet, whether it's submitted or not submitted or approved or rejected. All status will appear here on the top of the screen out here. Right. The other thing, apart from clocking in and clocking out, which you can do with the Cloud Clock, is booking your time off. So that's also one of the options that's available. You click back again on the 3 horizontal lines, and you will see an option called the time off that's available here. So let me just go ahead and that. I'm going to choose the time off now. When I choose the time off, I'll be taken to the screen where I will have the calendar showing up. And I can now go ahead. All right, I think some changes made to my instance. So I'm going to again. Okay, so for time off, I will see a calendar coming up wherein I can go ahead and book my time offs available on this section, and I can go ahead and make all my time off bookings available in there for my time offs that I'm planning to take. Also, you will have the option to go ahead and see your current balance and all those things with regards to your booking history and all of that options available up here again. Great, okay, so that's what you can do with your time off or from your cloud clock on the whole. And I think that's from our side for the demo. Anisha, I think over back to you.
Stephanie, I think that is it. All right, I'm just trying to see if we have any questions here. Doesn't look like we have any questions at this time, so we can go ahead and wrap up the webinar for now. If you have any questions at all after looking at this, please feel free to contact us. And you can find our information on our website, or you could contact your direct representative, and would be happy to give you more information and maybe even a deeper demo of our cloud clock solution as well.
Thanks everyone for joining in.
Thank you.